Hey guys, welcome to my live cooking. I'm going to make beef stuffed peppers today and I will show you my secrets how to make them really delicious. So first of all we need to get rid of the seeds inside our peppers, and that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm just cutting like that. Let me check the sound. Okay, it's on. So after that I'm going to dip my peppers for 2 minutes in the hot water with a little bit of salt, just to start the process of cooking my peppers. And I usually like to do this step just because the peppers are cooking so quickly after, and you can get lots of delicious flavors from peppers and they become really sweet. So that's why if you just start baking them or cooking on the stove, you don't get that. And if you cook them like parboiling effect first, then you will get the perfect peppers. And the cool part that they, when they start cooking, they actually change the color, and you will see that they are turning from red to kind of orange, and that's how you know that they are cooking. Perfect. Okay. So for the stuffing for my peppers, I'm using 2 garlic cloves, then 1 spring onion, 1 regular white onion, and carrot. So first I will start grating my carrot and slicing my onions, and then I will show you how to make them really nice and juicy. And the reason that I started this recipe with peppers because they need more time to be cooked on the stove. You can also make them in the oven if you prefer that, right? But I feel that cooking them on the stove is really nice and quick. So okay, I'm going to show you how a pepper looks when we have that the fresh, and then when we are just quickly parboiling it. So look at that. So the color changed from hi, welcome to my live cooking. The color changed from this red to kind of quite orange, right? So you can see the clear difference between them here as well. Okay. Okay, so we have a second piece of pepper. Okay, I'm going to drop uh, 2 more, and then I have 2 more. So basically, what I'm making, I will be making 3 peppers, and then I cut them by half. I cleaned all the seeds inside of them. So now I have perfectly parboiled peppers, and they will be really nice and sweet. That's what we want to get from them. You know that sometimes when you're trying the recipe, it just not that great, and sometimes peppers are too, like too tough, or you can just don't get the flavor for them. So this method is really working perfectly with all types of peppers, even if you use green or orange or yellow. So just go ahead and quickly boil them in salted water for 2 minutes. That's enough. It's that you don't need a lot of time to do that. So that's the whole point. But then when they start releasing all the juices, the pepper becomes softer, and then when you finish cooking it, it will be really sweet and nice, and you don't need to add, like extra flavors or even sugar. So that's the trick. Okay, so it's same. You remember that the previous one. Look at that. The color is just drastically changed. This one, okay, this ready, and I have the last 2 pieces. I'm using only 3 because 6 pieces. I have only one left, but I will be using for another recipe. That's why I'm cooking not a lot. Plus, I don't want to waste a lot of time. So okay, with peppers, now you can see how it looks. And then I'm going to show you how to make the stuffing really nice and sweet. So for that, I am using 1 carrot. Okay, I have 1 carrot now. I'm going to chop my onion. Okay, let me check my peppers. Okay, that's perfect. So as you can see, the test was done nicely and correct. So I have all of them here. So I don't need this water. Ooh, that's hot. Okay. So now I'm going to saute my vegetables before mixing everything together. Also, forget to mention that if you have this water, you can use that then when you start cooking your peppers, your stuffed peppers. I have a recipe on my blog, so if you want, you can go and check it out. I have 2 different types. One I'm making with Greek yogurt, which gives lots of tangy flavors, and if you like that, you will absolutely enjoy making it. And I have another recipe, also stuffed peppers, so just go ahead and check it with all the measurements and correct ingredients. Okay, so I'm quickly slicing 1 brown onion. It's a new onion that's it going to be sweet and nice. So I don't need to add lots of different stuff. Okay, I will be using olive oil, but you can also use sunflower oil or canola oil or any other oil that you enjoy. So usually when I'm sauteing my vegetables, I love to start with carrots. And like in a minute, I will be adding my onion. And for this recipe, I decided to use 1 spring onion just to get, different colors and a little bit of different flavors and textures. But if you don't have a spring onion, you can just skip it and add regular onion. Also, red onion works great too. Okay, just a little more. And here, why are we sauteing vegetables? We need to saute them to get extra flavors, because if you mix, let's imagine that you're mixing everything fresh and not cooked before, like spring onions or regular onions and garlic, you just, you have to cook peppers a long time. You need at least 2 hours to prep everything together so they get lots of flavors. But if you make them beforehand, if you cook them, even like for 2-3 minutes, they will be softer and delicious. And then, when you need everything to put together, it will be nice, quick, and delicious. Okay, so here I'm going to season my vegetables. Hope you can see. Yes, now you can see properly. Okay, I'm seasoning with salt, and I'm adding some pepper. Okay, so it smells really nice. Okay. I'm cooking on low heat, but I will be adding just a little more of olive oil. So in total, you probably need 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You don't need to create a buzz for your vegetables, but you still need to have them enough flavors to melt together. Okay, and I'm chopping my garlic. I'm using 2 pieces of garlic, but you can go ahead and add more if you love garlic. And after, I will be mixing all my ingredients and going to show you how to stuff them correctly and cook them very quickly. So that's done. It smells really nice. You know, garlic and onion and carrots. So good. Okay. I think I'll be using the white bowl that you can see all my ingredients together. So here I have my ground beef. Okay. I have less than a pound. Hi everyone, welcome to my live cooking. Okay, so I have less than a pound, approximately 350, which will be 350 grams, probably, let me count, 16 ounces, okay? So that's almost done. So as you can see, I cooked my vegetables until they are nice and soft. I don't want to burn them, you know, or overcook it, so I'm finishing here. And now I cooked rice, so it's done. It's still warm, but it's not very hot. I cooked just 1 cup of rice, but I will be using half of that. I don't want my stuffed peppers to be very ricey, that's why I'm using just a half of it. And then you can use the another part of rice for making fried rice or any other delicious recipes. Okay, so I'm mixing everything together, and here you can do different ways, right? You can use your hand, or you can use the glove, or you can use a spoon. I think it's easier to mix everything with hand first. The most important part, so my rice is not salty and meat too, so we need to add some salt to get the flavors, and same with spices. So here you can add different spices. Let's say we can go with oregano, paprika, small paprika, a little bit of garlic, but we can also keep a very simple spices like salt and pepper, and then all our vegetables give flavors to stuffed peppers, and we don't need to add any extra spices, and if we don't have, if you want, you can add also some chili pepper flakes or a chili powder if you want them to be spicy. Okay, so here, as you can see, the texture is nice. It's ready. I'm not adding any eggs or any other stuff, so I'm finishing with it. And I'm transferring my vegetables here, and now I will be using a spoon to mix everything together. Okay. Oops. That's it. Usually, what I like to do, I like to use Dutch oven just to cook everything, because I feel like when you have heat-proven pan, it cooks really nice and creates these lots of flavors inside the pan. I don't like to use other materials, so you can probably see on my recipes that I'm using for stuffed peppers or stuffed cabbage rolls. So that's the point. And I will be adding a little bit of olive oil on the surface of my pan. So when I will put my peppers, they're not going to stick together. I don't need to have a glue. Okay, so here I'm just mixing everything. So I have proper layers of flavors. And I need to add a little more salt, because here we don't have any salt, only in my vegetables. And that's why we need to season them properly. And I will show you how to stuff peppers. The reason why I love this recipe, and I feel like it's perfect for summer, especially if you have lots of seasonal produce and peppers, you can stuff basically everything which you have. I love it because it's really easy, like to put together, and you don't need a lot of effort, but still you have a nice dish that you can eat for 3 days in a row. And plus, if you need to freeze it, you can also do that, just to put in a glass container and close it, and then you can just leave it for up to 1 month. And I think it's pretty cool, because every recipe that you can make and keep it, that's really nice. So if you decide to freeze it, what I would do, I would cook peppers completely, and then I would stuff them and put in the glass foam, or any foam that you may suitable for your freezer section. And only after that, I will leave it like that, and then I will be cooking it when I need, that they have really nice and delicious flavors, and then you add some tomato paste or anything. So usually I like to stuff my peppers quite a lot, just like that. See, it's completely stuffed. And now I'm just transferring everything on my pan. So I don't recommend to cook them first and then freeze it, because they will definitely lose their textures and flavors. So that's why I recommend you just to stuff them, leave it like that, and then if you need to just cook it very quickly, 15-20 minutes, and it will be done. Plus you can make them in the oven, another alternative. So that's easy peasy. And then when you need to feed your family or friends, wherever, you can do that quickly. Okay? Plus it looks really nice and fancy and cozy, so it works for all occasions. Okay. So now you probably can see why I'm using only 3 peppers. And I have a big pot. Okay. And just like that. So it will be really nice and juicy. It will be perfect. I cooked this recipe like maybe 1,000 times, so that's a lot. Okay. Sometimes I don't even measure my ingredients. I just know how much I need that. Okay. And I have 1 more pepper. Look at that. This is absolutely amazing. So this time I decided to divide my peppers by half, but usually I like to make them the same way that I showed you in the beginning. I like to stuff them completely, and then just to cover with the head of a pepper. I don't have head because I cut them, so I don't have any head here, but I have it like that. So look at that. I don't have any other leftovers. So I'm just adding my onion. That's it. Okay, so the interesting part. Let's talk about the sauce. So here we have quite a few options. So the first option can be tomato paste. Then you can use crushed tomatoes, another one. You can also add some water, and we have water from the pan that I cooked my peppers, and I'm going to use it just a little bit. Then we can also add some Greek yogurt, sour cream. I think that's it. I think it will be perfectly enough, okay? So let me grab my pot with hot water. Okay. I think I will be using only two or maybe three ladles. Okay. If you happen to have any leftovers, what you can do, from the stuffing from the meat and rice, you can just pull them through your pan on different parts. So even if they stick together, they will be still really delicious, and you can just scrap them. Okay. So we have some water. I will be using tomato paste. Okay. I'm not worrying about the whole thing, how it looks. Okay, just like that. And the cool part that I will be using some sour cream. I think you can also use some cottage cheese. It's nice and cool, so I think it gives lots of delicious flavors, to peppers. Okay, and usually for sour cream, I'm using like 2 tablespoons and just separating into different pockets that I have here. And when it starts boiling, they will just be everywhere, and the flavors will melt together nicely. Okay, so that's my sour cream. Okay. So now I'm going to close with the lid and leave it for 15-20 minutes, and then I will be checking what's going on here. So just pushing that around, and up to the next recipe. So for the next recipe, I have some figs, I have some cheese, and I have prosciutto, which is presunto in Portuguese, and I will be making a quick and delicious appetizer slash salad. So stick around, and I'll show you how to decorate everything with nuts and a little bit of delicious sauces. Okay, so I washed all my figs. I think it's really perfect, and it's summer recipe, just everything what we need right now, right? We will have some hot peppers that we will be serving with Greek yogurt, and here on this beautiful plate we will have some salad. Okay, so I have some fresh figs, which is amazing. Look at that, they are quite soft, but I think it doesn't spoil the flavor after all. So you can create different shapes of the salad, but I feel like the rounds are working really nicely, and perfect. So if you love figs, I have another recipe with figs, fig jam, and then duck fig sandwich, purely gourmet dish. So if you love duck and you love figs, you should go and check it out on my website. It's just amazing. I cooked for friends, and they were shocked. They asked for more, but I didn't have. So probably this year I'll be making. Okay, so here we have, I'm using just 4 figs. I think it will be suitable for 2 to 3 people if they are hungry. If they are not, they can share. Okay, I'm trying to push my camera so you can see everything, and it's quite fun. This smells just so good. Okay. And I think you know that I love figs with seeds inside, and kind of if I don't have any seeds, I don't like it. I think the cool part about figs that they have seeds. Also, you can use different figs that you have. I kind of have green and violet together, but if you have only violet or green, just go ahead and use them too. They will be perfect. Okay, and I think just like that. One more. Yay. Okay, so next thing what we have here, I have uh, Portuguese burrata. You can also use if you have Italian burrata or any other. It's not really like very important. So I like to have like pieces of burrata on top of my salad, so I don't need to scrap them. You know, I can just grab a little bit. Okay, just like that. Next, what we have here, we have very delicious risotto. It's like Italian prosciutto, just a little different, but you can go and buy it too if you can get the Portuguese. Try that. I think you will really love it. It's really nice. It's same as the Spanish jamon. It's not same, but it's kind of same. Okay, so it's similar in taste and flavors. So I don't like huge pieces of presunto on my salad. That's why I am, like separating them and just adding to my salad with the flow, right? Oh, we need just to have balance. And this salad is really nice. I have another recipe on my website, not like this. I think I cooked a live video, I think a year ago, with melon and presunto. It was spectacular. So if you want like classic Italian version, you can go and check that out. This one is kind of closer because it's with figs, but still we have some creamy flavors, and then we have freshness from figs, and then we have saltiness from presunto. That's perfect. That's really nice and delicious. Okay, I think that will be enough. Right. Yes. Maybe just a little bit here. Okay, that's it. So with my pack of 120 gram, which will be 4 ounces, you can make like a huge salad, or you can just separate it into 2 parts and create 2 different dishes. So here, what we can do, we can add some pepper. Okay. And we don't need to add some salt because we have salt from presunto. But we need to add some balsamic vinegar. Okay, peppers are cooking nicely and smells really delicious. You can do some lines or rounds or dots, how you prefer to eat that. I think dots are nice and looks cool. And then you can have on each bite just a little bit of sauce. Okay, so that's it. And for the nuts, I'll some walnuts. It's not roasted. If you want, you can roast and get some extra flavor, but I'll be just using normal nuts. I'll just quickly chop them into smaller pieces, you know. You can also go with pine nuts, they will be tasty and delicious, and I also love pistachio, but I can't find them, so I will be sticking to my walnuts. Okay. And in order to complete this picture, I'm using the olive oil with uh, basil flavor, just a little bit. Okay, just like that. So that's it. That's my salad. It looks like that. I think it's perfect. It's really delicious, and I think it's a complete summer dish. So if you want to make it for your friends or for a family, just go ahead and do it. I think they will really appreciate it because it's so good. So I will quickly check and show you how my peppers look, and then I will be finishing this live stream and I will show you the result in community post. So if you subscribe to my channel, you can go and check the community, and I think in 15-20 minutes you can see the result of my stuffed peppers. This will be really hot. So attention everyone. Okay. So I think it looks spectacular, right? It's delicious, and as you can see that we created just perfect flavors with sour cream, and it's melted together. So I think it will be so good, juicy, and delicious. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm happy that you enjoyed this live stream. Hope to see you tomorrow, and have a great evening. Bye.